Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'd like to start off tonight by wishing all of you a happy Star Wars Day. For those of you who don't get it, may the 4th be with you. It's very interesting that our event fell on this date, because as for the state of Ohio, we are definitely in search of a new hope. And President Barack Obama said about hope many years ago that as Americans, we choose hope over fear. We see the future not as something out of our control, but as something we can shape for the better through concerted and collective effort. As progressives, I can list off a bunch of values that we all share, but you probably know most of them. But one that I really would like to highlight that makes us different from others is that progressives work to hold our nation accountable to the highest standards possible, knowing that a perfect nation is unattainable. It's the progressives that never stop the pursuit of that perfection. As we the people can form a more perfect union, to be a nation and a community that does not turn a blind eye to our ills, but instead works hard to overcome and address those concerns and address those wrongdoings to make them right for all people. It's not necessarily who we once were or even who we are now as a nation. It's about who we can become as a nation. Despite the political phrase that we've all heard before, they're all the same. We as progressives are fundamentally different. When the former impeached president won his election back in 2016, it was so common to see t-shirts and social media posts that read slogans such as, "I want to see lids cry." It became very clear that they didn't care about serving all the people, only those who looked, acted, thought, and believed like they do. In fact, part of their victory was to make people who disagreed with them suffer. But we're different. As we saw evidence with President Biden's administration with the child tax credit, we saw 3.7 million children lifted out of poverty, and we did not stop to ask if they came from red states or blue states, or if they were Republican or Democrat. We did what was right for all people. But as for Ohio, what must we do now to change the downward trajectory of this state? I can tell you, it's not going to be solved in one speech. But one of the most important things we must do here on out, as progressives, is to stop allowing Republicans to set the narrative and define who we are. Conservatives have rebranded terms like liberal, woke, progressive, even concepts like diversity and inclusion to mean some horrendous thing. And the worst thing about it is, it works, even on some of us. Despite our progressive ideals being widely popular with the majority of people, we are often reactive, or sometimes one step behind. And we must no longer take a back seat in our messaging in our state. It's not enough to simply react to the negative behaviors of others, but instead work actively to create positive change that we so deeply care about. Part of being a productive progressive is to be proactive. Even though we might be in the minority in state representation, we must never behave like we are in the minority. Instead of playing defense, we must go on offense. We should flood the state with our ideas and our solutions to force those in the majority to explain to those, their constituents, why they oppose such popular and effective ideas. Because when we consistently prove to the public that we are in fact a better alternative, the hope is restored for a better future in Ohio. But no one person, no one organization, or even the party alone can do this. We need all of us at play to make this success a reality. And I'd like to conclude my remarks with a very brief poem from Douglas Malloch. And the poem goes like this. If you can't be a pine on the top of the hill, be a scrub in the valley. But be the best little scrub by the side of the road. If you can't be a bush, then be a tree. If you can't be a bush, be a big open grass and some highway happier make. If you can't be a muskie, then just be a bass, but the liveliest bass in the lake. We can't all be captains, we've got to be crew. There's something for all of us here. There's big work to do, and there's lesser to do. And the task we must do is in the near. If you can't be a highway, then just be a trail. If you can't be the sun, be a star. It isn't by size that you win or you fail. Be the best of whatever you are. So whether you choose to knock on doors, make phone calls, talk to your neighbors, mail out postcards, sign petitions, get other people to sign petitions, donate, or even run yourself, we must do our best and be the best of whatever we choose to be. Only then, in a collective effort, with all of us represented at the table, can we truly reignite progressive power here in Ohio. The time has come for progressive ideas to take center stage, and we need each and every one of your help. We do not lose Ohio during an election. We lose Ohio when we lose the hope. So let us go forward with determination, knowing that we can shape the future of this state for the better. And let us work to continue to create a more equitable society for all people, all individuals to have that equal opportunity to thrive. And may the force be with us all as we embark on this journey towards a brighter future. Thank you, everyone.